Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I have to cover some very exciting news. All right, this is an unprovoked video. I didn't have this planned or anything like that. But I got some really good news about Nvidia, and I had to share it because I think it is very, very good news for obviously anyone who's holding Nvidia. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell. All right, because I do go live most days, and you would love that information if you're into investing, stocks, finance news. All right, let's get into this. So about a month ago, I talked about this right here. I'm investing in this Nvidia income leverage ETF. All right. Basically, I was investing into Nvidia. And in this video, all right, which you can access, you can view it, I do go over my thesis about Nvidia. Okay. And not longer ago than that, about 2 months ago, I talked about, this whole AI thesis. All right. In this video, bullish on artificial intelligence. Okay. I talked about this whole AI thesis. Everybody was hating on artificial intelligence. Everyone was saying that the AI bubble popped, DeepSeek won, Nvidia is going into the trash, and data center demand is going down. Peak pessimism, peak fear. All right, everybody was saying how trashy this whole theme is. Right, and I refuse to believe that. Having looked at the Nvidia GTC conference, I thought that the technology that they're coming out with, that Jensen Huang was talking about, was absolutely astounding. It was really good tech, and it's very, very good tech that no other competitor even comes close to having. So I ended up buying, again, this ETF from Roundhill, which I will talk about here in just a minute. Okay, so real quick, look at Nvidia. It's just been on an absolute rip today. Okay, it is up 11.3%, and I think it's going to continue going higher as long as new deals get announced, as long as more positive news comes out, all right, about Nvidia, because they've been hammered about this whole China tariff thing. Nvidia couldn't export their chips to China, and that just put a huge drag on their share price, right? Then they were talking about modifying their H20 chips, for export, because they wanted to get around this whole export license that the government placed on them, right? So Nvidia was kind of getting cooked. But this news is absolutely big, all right? This news is absolutely big. And just a quick look at the portfolio. I mean, look at this thing. It is going bonkers today. It is going bonkers on a lot of good news, all right? On a lot of good positive sentiment, all right? If we look at NVW, which is my Roundhill Nvidia WeeklyPay ETF, all right? This thing has been on an absolute rip as well. It's been doing very well. And again, people were downplaying this. They're saying that the WeeklyPay ETFs are stupid, that, you shouldn't buy them. They can go to zero. Nvidia is dead. Why invest in Nvidia? Nvidia is cooked. It's trash. Go with the other players, go with AMD, go with all these other, chip companies. I refuse to believe that. And I continued my investing into this ETF. All right. So what was the actual news? Well, Nvidia is going to be providing chips to Saudi Arabia's AI firm Humane for data centers. All right. Everyone was focused on the Chinese or US trade war and Nvidia trying to ship their chips there. Right. I'm included in that. I did not think about Saudi Arabia. So this was really good, positive news, and it was welcomed at a great, great time. So real quick, I'm just going to read the brief article. Nvidia will send semiconductors to Saudi Arabian AI company Humane for up to a 500 megawatt data center build out. All right, the data center will be powered by hundreds of thousands of Nvidia's most advanced GPUs over the next 5 years. The first phase of deployment will be an 18,000 NVIDIA GB300 Grace Blackwell AI supercomputer with NVIDIA InfiniBand networking, the U.S. tech giant said in a press release on Tuesday. All right, this is huge news, right? This is cementing that NVIDIA is going to continue selling chips. They're going to continue selling to other areas, right? And this is going to look good, obviously, on their balance sheet, right? Because now they have future orders. So this is really, really good news. Everybody, again, was talking trash about, Nvidia and saying it's cooked. The bears won. This thing is going back to $80 or $90, right? Everyone's talking about fair value for Nvidia, which, maybe it's true. Maybe I'm calling this too early and this is going to crash tomorrow. I have no idea. But I just want to give you guys kind of my thoughts around all this. This is really good news for Nvidia. And I really think that, as more orders, as more certainty comes out from the markets and Nvidia can continue shipping out their semiconductors, their chips, this is really going to cement their foot as the dominant chip maker in the world. All right, the dominant chip maker in the world for artificial intelligence. Okay, so this is the WeeklyPay ETF from Roundhill. Let me scroll up here. So this is the ETF that I want to talk about. Everyone was dogging on this one at one point. So first off, before I even continue, I just want to give a quick shout out to all Nvidia holders, NVW holders, and anyone investing in the yield max version Nvidia. All right, patience paid off. It looks like Nvidia is finally on the come up. All right, it's finally recovering, and I really think we're going to start hitting new highs. Okay, so this one is a 1.2 levered position against Nvidia, right, or on Nvidia, whatever you want to call it. And basically meaning that this is going to give you a 120% return or a loss, depending on which direction Nvidia trades at. Okay, but look at this. It's given you a nice 30% distribution rate. Okay, that's dividend income. That's really, really high. That's really, really attractive, right? So if we look at the distributions, all right, the distribution that they've been pumping out, 50 cents for every share, 19 cents for every share, 42 cents for every share, 37 cents for every share. The thing about these ETFs, about these WeeklyPay ETFs from Roundhill, is there has to be momentum behind the stock. There has to be something driving the stock up. If you're going to have a really bad week, for the underlier, like Nvidia, if Nvidia just has a really horrible week, well, that payout is going to be very bad. All right. It's not going to be really all that sexy. But if there's a lot of news, a lot of good, price action on Nvidia, it's going to produce a very nice income. And not only that, you're going to get a lot of capital appreciation for every share you own of this ETF. So again, a lot of people were dogging on this ETF. A lot of people were talking trash about Nvidia and saying it's cooked, saying the AI thesis is dead, saying that the data centers are no longer going to be needed anymore, all that other crap. And look, it's starting to finally pan out, the story of the AI thesis. Okay, so really, really excited. Again, if you want that kind of video, I have it right here, bullish on artificial intelligence, where I give you guys my thesis, my thoughts on artificial intelligence, and then I talk about Nvidia and why I'm so bullish on them. All right, so I really recommend you guys check that out. Again, not financial advice of any sort. You guys need to do your own due diligence. Don't copy my trades, all that other good stuff. All right, so real quick, just to give a quick shout out to my community here on Discord, have a lot of news. All right, this was the news I posted here today. Two very important pieces of news. So if you want to check this stuff out, I'll put a link to the Discord down below in the description for you guys to check out. Come out, chat with us, chill. It's no pressure at all, right? But breaking, the White House on Tuesday announced commitments from Saudi Arabia to invest $600 billion in aerospace and defense, energy, and security deals, marking the largest set of commercial agreements so far between the two countries. I think Palantir is also going to be able to benefit from this, okay? Because again, we're talking about defense and energy and security, okay? Artificial intelligence is going to be a part of all of that. And I said before, imagine when Palantir, that NATO contract was a big deal. Imagine when other countries start adopting Palantir. Wherever the United States military is going to be operating, their partners, they're also going to be using Palantir. If Saudi Arabia announces a partnership with Palantir, it is good game at that point, guys. It is a good game. All right. Next will be, probably Australia, South Korea, Japan, right after that. So the other piece of news that came out again today, Nvidia will send semiconductors to Saudi Arabian AI company who made for that 500 megawatt data center build out. Again, I posted this in the Discord, so if you want to get in on that, link will be down below in the description for you guys. All right. So with that being said, again, shout out to everyone who's holding this. Shout out to any Nvidia holders. Shout out to any Nvidia holders, the Yield Max option income ETF. This is finally starting to pan out well for us. Nvidia's just been unloved for a very long time, and I think it's finally starting to pay off. The thesis is starting to come true. We just got to continue holding on, and who knows? Again, I don't want to call it early. There may be a huge correction tomorrow or whatever, or, next week it's just down 30%. I have no idea. I'm not selling out of Nvidia for any rhyme or reason. All right. I think they're easily going to reach new highs, and they're going to be in demand for the next 4 to 10 years, easily in demand. So with that being said, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you made it this far, comment down below Nvidia. All right. Let me know you made it this far. Appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like. And again, I will see you in the next video. You guys have a great rest of your day and good luck in the markets.